Gentlemen, we're here at the Next School Dictionary. Please introduce yourselves.
What's happening? My name is King Charles, representing Creation Global from the south side of Chicago.
What's up? My name is Khalif Ramirez Sellers, aka Big Leaf, representing Mop Top Dance Fusion.
So, just want to get a little background history on house and Chicago house and how they relate, because seems to be some confusion amongst people on, how, house dance, is related to Chicago footwork. So we're trying to expand on that idea and, open some minds.
Right. Well, first thing that I can just notify just off of observation of both cultures is that a lot of it's connected with hip hop lifestyle, so it brings like similar mentality, to the dance style, So like off back, with us having similar lifestyles from the East Coast to the Midwest, we're gonna create similar dance steps, based on what we're going through and what the vibe is in the party or with our people and stuff like that. But there's a lot of dance steps that are similar, that are connected to each other.
The thing that's really important is that when we encountered the music, we basically just did what we were doing in the hood, which was mostly the social dances of the time, whatever that social dance was. And when it became really popular, dances like the Running Man that everybody was doing to hip hop and house, to hip house music, I guess that's when everything got crossed together. For me, when I first went to the house clubs or to a club period, people just mainly just jam with one another. And now it's a little different. Now everyone dances in a cypher. And I guess with that the changing of the guard and with things changing, the dance has changed too. We've been able to be exposed to one another because he came out to Brian's event.
Yeah, house dance conference.
House dance conference. He actually was a judge for the house dance conference.
Yeah. With some Detroit Jet Cats.
Yeah, so that was dope. That's when we got exposed to what was going on in the Midwest, because before that it was just, we were mainly concerned with what we were doing here, and we really didn't know about what was going on anywhere else.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, when you were talking about the Running Man and stuff like that. It's crazy because like we use the same names as well. Like from the Running Man, we got a step called the Skate, stuff like that. And then like with house, in the first generation in Chicago, it was very social too. Nothing was really like aggressive or anything like that or competitive. It was very social. It was everybody just trying to like get with each other, jack on each other, and do all different types of stuff in the club together though. And there was so many different scenes coming to the same spot.
But you just said something important, my brother, and this is something that we need clarification on.
Right.
You just used the term jack to explain what? What are you talking about when you say that?
Well, in simple terms, the way that they were doing it, it was to do it on each other. It was
sexual?
It was freaky.
Okay, it was freaky.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was freaky. It was, I'm about to jack on this girl.
Well, okay.
I mean, you could say hump, but jack was the word.
All right.
And so that's what they was doing. They was jacking on the floors, jacking everywhere.
Okay, because we also have it here, and the term, it means that, but then it also means a way that we move
right
to the music. And two people that are kind of responsible to making that popular is Tony McGregor and Which Way Sha. Also Sekou. We can't forget about brother Sekou. These brothers kind of helped inject that into the dance from like maybe the late 90s up until now. And then it's become a staple, you know, like part of the dance where we actually teach it as a basic movement. But I mean, I can't imagine it would be similar to Pasa Pasa if we did it the Chicago way. You know what I mean?
Like one thing I tell people about like the similarity, the connection, and the difference is that like the connection is that it's the same motion as New York. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you're doing it on somebody or not on somebody, you know. The difference is we didn't really upgrade it where we was putting footwork and all that type of stuff mixed in with the jack. Like, so ours is still more in like the basic form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we did like start getting fancy with the footwork, we didn't keep that groove with the footwork because the music started changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that when I was with you, I got to see you in Just the Boo and see you in contests overseas, and people were like, "Oh, but that's not house." And I said, "How can you tell him that what he's doing is not house when he is from Chicago, where the music comes from? The music comes from the warehouse. This is where the term house music comes from."
Right.
How can you tell that man what he's doing is not house? Is because they only encountered us.
Yeah.
So they didn't encounter anyone from Chicago before or anyone from Detroit before.
Right.
So they didn't know anything about jitting, and they didn't know anything about Chicago footwork. But yet and still they were amazed because you and Prince J-Ron, y'all were killing it.
Right.
So they couldn't deny it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, but they wanted to like kind of knock. They didn't want to fully accept what they haven't seen before because I guess certain people have been around for so long that they expected that they knew all of it in a nutshell already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When there's more stories to be told, you know, even from the Chicago side, showing respect to the New York side, you know, letting people know that this music is from Chicago, but it wasn't only created by Chicago producers.
Right, you brought Frankie Knuckles
Exactly.
from New York to Chicago, and he was the resident DJ at the warehouse.
Yep, straight from New York. Yes, sir. And there was others too. There was another guy from New York. What's his name? Larry Levan?
Larry Levan.
Larry Levan.
Yes.
Larry Levan.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a
Paradise
DJ
Garage.
of the Paradise Garage.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, like, yeah, we got a lot of connections, and that's why I'm happy we made that blend, you know, like almost 10 years ago, like learning more about New York, and then that's why like I was so interested in like learning the New York style of house dance from you guys so that I can bring that information back to Chicago, you know, even though like the north side of Chicago, they know about it already, but the south and the west is where Chicago footwork is at, and these cats is just, you know, like they're just really raw, and they don't really know that much like outside of their culture. So it's like I was trying to show them, but then I also need to show them what house music is about because the newer generation didn't start with that, you know. So I had to take them back, you know, because in our culture the generations move a little faster because there's no what do you call it? There's no revenue. There's no career in it. So because there's no career in it, once you hit 20 out of high school, you know,
It's just a passing fad.
you're an OG now.
Right.
You passed it to one of your shorties and stuff because now you're trying to get this money. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why, you know, people passed on really quick from like knowing what house was. And that's why I'm just so appreciative I got the opportunity to really like go back, which is not even that far back, you know, to see what the OGs of my of my culture and of your culture did. You know, you guys, like did together and like from East to Midwest, and you know, like because it's putting the pages that the missing pages in the book. You know what I'm saying? To connect everything together.
I think the thing for us, the thing that we had guys like Louis Keys who performed with us at Step Your Game Up, who's our elder. He's 60, but that brother was around in the club. Him, another guy named Mike. It was about maybe 10 of these cats that would actually open their arms to us, dance with us, and kind of show us the way. Basil, you know, DJ Basil, he was another one that didn't like turn his back to us. There was others that when they first encountered us, they looked at us as grasshoppers, saying that we were just jumping around. But we just came and we had fun. And from us having fun, like I tell people all the time, we created something. So when people ask us about the vocabulary and names of steps, I'm like, that came so much later because we didn't realize what we were creating until we would bug out with one another and make fun of one another. Yo, you do this, you do this, and this and this. We would laugh, but then before you know it, we done ran off about 20 steps, 30 steps.
That everybody else is following.
Right, that we all can do, and that all became a part of the dance as we know it today. So that is how the dance was created for us, like from us having fun, bugging out with one another.
I think that's it's kind of the same in the first generation of Chicago footwork, you know, because like these were social dances, but like Chicago, if something looks cool and a couple people are doing it, then the next time you go to that party, more people are doing it, you know, until it gets to the point where they pass it to their cousins and their cousins' cousins, and nobody even knew who created it. You know what I'm saying? Because no one took ownership because it wasn't even really.
It wasn't
important.
about that at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't about that, you know. And so in that generation, different groups was already forming though. Some of my forefathers and the people who taught my teachers are in a group called House-O-Matic. They actually started in '79, and they were like a stepping crew. And then when the new sound came, you know, they adapted to that sound and was doing performances. I don't know what year House came originally, but it was a little after '79, right?
Nah, the first single was like 85, 86.
Right.
First popular.
Right. Yeah, so House-O-Matic, U5U, K59, Phase 2, these are some of the first generation groups from the South Side. And some of them, they sound like fraternities because that's how they kind of made their group. They made their group in the universities, right? You know, and was doing performances there and stuff like that.
The Greeks.
Exactly, yeah. And then I definitely got to show respect to one of my mentors, Lady Soul, because she's like a female pioneer for house and hip hop in Chicago. You know, and she's the one who educated me about you guys, Buddha Stretch and Brian Green and a lot of other people.
Shout out to them there.
Oh yeah, and so like, and she was actually hands-on with some of the artists who were making the records because some of those artists like Kashmir and Daje, they only had a couple dancers that they would hire for a gig, and Lady Soul was one of the two dancers that they would hire. Like I forgot what's the original name of the song from Daje? Ooh, oh, ah, ee, ooh, ooh. Everybody know the song.
Brighter Days.
Brighter Days. Yeah, Brighter Days. She was one of the dancers, and then Larry Sims was the other dancer who actually is a hairstylist for many celebrities now. But those two, they used to like be doing the backup dancing, and then for Kashmir, whose name is Green Velvet now, he's still DJing around the world and making hits and everything. He came out with Percolator and stuff like that, and they were dancing for him. And then eventually they bridged the gap, brought me and Prince J-Ron around, and we started touring with Kashmir, and you know, doing Chicago footwork to his music, you know. So yeah, definitely like there's some history there that like I feel like people need to know from Chicago that we helped in some way, shape, or form, like influence the dance culture for house music, you know. And we got a lot of moves too. We got a lot of different moves that like we call party moves or trendy moves that we did to the house music and everything like that. So,
back in 1991, I went to Chicago. Me and Peter Paul, we were dancing for Crystal Waters. La da dee da dee da. And we performed in this club called Kaboom. I don't even know if maybe that club doesn't exist anymore.
Kaboom.
Yeah, and then I came back the next year in '92. I was with Buddha. We was with CC.
CC Peniston.
At that time, when I was in the club and I was dancing, a lot of people looked at me kind of strange. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" Like, so at that time, maybe the way we were moving in New York wasn't familiar to what to the people in Chicago. Because a lot of people are like, "Hey man, that's so, you're breakdancing." I'm like, "Nah, I'm dancing a house. This is house dancing." They're like, "Oh." So at that time, they weren't really familiar with what we were doing. And so that's why I feel like it's amazing now that we can sit here in 2017 and there's an understanding. I know what you're doing.
That's crazy.
I know a little bit about the history.
Yeah.
And now you know a little bit about our history here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shout out to Twilight Tone.
That's right. I said them there, baby. You know what I mean? I had to shout them out. That was their crew.
Yeah.
Clay. Shout out to Clay, them there, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clay is in Jam video. He's the guy dancing. Yeah. Little dread. I ain't forget you. My Chicago people.
Let's just one quick thing about the musical side of things, because a lot of people don't understand that in Chicago you had house and now you have what y'all call ghetto house or juke.
Oh, yeah.
Regular people don't really know what that, what that means.
Right.
So elaborate some on that.
Definitely. So yeah, with the eras of our music, started with house. That's the parent right there. And pretty much the sound of house was like, it was a lovely sound. That brought a lot of different people together. But Chicago is a very segregated place, and you had a lot of low-income places and a lot of different projects, like the Robert Taylor Homes, Cabrini Greens,
Good times.
Yeah, Otterby Wells, the Ickeys, stuff like that. And so these places, they created a sound that kind of matched what lifestyle they lived.
The hood.
Yeah. So like people like DJ Sluggo, who comes from the projects on the South Side, he would pretty much created this sound from house that was just it was way more hard. Like it was still the same tempo at first, but like the bass was harder. The message was hood, was ghetto. Like, pass the toilet paper, pass the toilet paper. Like, stuff like that. And so they would pack out one living room in a project building, and the whole project building is trying to party in this living room. You know what I'm saying? And they got speakers all through the living room. Like, it's just crazy. Like, people, you know what I'm saying? You found all different types of unnecessary stuff up in there after the party was done. Like, it was crazy, and they called this sound booty house or ghetto house, and so it wasn't long lived, but it was sparked from house music. And what they did, what it became was the bridge. It became the bridge to the music that Chicago Footworkers dance to right now, which is juke music, because it needed to go that route first, and get a little ghetto and stuff, to be aggressive enough and raw enough and high energy enough to inspire the footworkers to dance the way that they do right now.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, most house songs are either like the songs that a lot of people dance to are from 120 to like 127. If you get a song like 128 is considered to be fast, people are like, wow, that song is fast. So between that 120 and 128, that's kind of like where we live and die in house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go with, because I think Chicago Footwork is a little faster, right?
Oh yeah.
How many BPMs is that?
Yeah, we're
130?
nah.
Like 145,
140?
150.
Nah, we're at 160.
Wow.
Yeah, we're at 160. Yeah, and I think once you get to like 180, that's like drum and bass or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but the crazy thing is, and you know, like the producers can correct me if I'm wrong, but like if I'm not mistaken, when I first came around in 2000, like, you know, they were passing out the cassette tapes, like all the juke music was on these colorful different cassette tapes, you know, and they were bumping, like, it was faster than the music that is now. Like,
Right.
it toned down, but when I first came, it was faster. You know what I'm saying? And when it was faster like that, people's freestyle times were shorter. You know what I'm saying? It was 10 seconds and somebody cutting you off. 10 seconds and somebody cutting you off. 10 seconds and somebody cutting you off. You know what I'm saying? So like in that 10 seconds, you're trying to throw everything possible out of your body in 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You going crazy. You know, and now the time like went back to like 30, 40 seconds when somebody's freestyling to Chicago Footwork comfortably, because it went down to 160. But like I gotta say, like I if I'm not wrong, I think it was 170 for a bit, and then they was like, oh yeah, I think we got a little too hyped. Let's put this to 160. let's push this down to 160. But the music is incredible, you know, because like, you know, they really take a lot of passion into like creating it, and like, you know, like a lot of these producers have a history of being fans of a lot of soulful records that came out from a long time ago, and they're reviving these records or putting a spin on these records for the footwork community to like have some feeling, you know, and dance to something that has some feeling, you know. So like they've done all types of stuff. Anita Baker, like all types of stuff. So it's not just all the time like super ratchet and ghetto, but like the juke era when it first started came from the ghetto house. So it was definitely ghetto. It was definitely ghetto. It was like records from DJ PJ, like Dookie Booty. I gotta find my dookie booty. She got a big old dookie booty. Dookie booty, dookie booty, dookie booty. Like that would bang hard. And so
that means big booty.
Yeah. She got a lot of
Yeah,
jump.
because not shitty booty, but gotta clarify.
Yeah. And then we created a dance. A lot of the tracks that like said like specific words,
Right.
the whole track, we created a dance for it. Like there was a track that was called Irk and Jerk It. Like Irk It, Jerk It. It was like Irk it, jerk it, irk it, jerk it, irk it, jerk it, irk it, jerk it, irk it, jerk it. So like, you know, we created this move called the Irk and Jerk. You know, and like now they just call it the Irks, you know, the new generation. You know, and then there was a track called the Shake a Lot. Shake a lot, 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 and they would just play around with the rhythm of that word, you know what I'm saying? And so we would do this move called the Shake a Lot.
But you know, that's actually the beginning of the house too. The house music, house music. That same pattern of taking the voice and hitting the pads for the voice is the same thing they did with early house. Yep.
See, that's dope.
So it stayed. They kept it.
Right. They kept that.
They just sped it up. That's all.
Right.
And I think that's what, when people look at it and they look at Chicago Footwork and the music that it's done to now, right? And if they see you dance to something else, they're like, but no, the real music is fast. Like it doesn't matter because even in house, we have, like I say, some tracks are fast, some tracks are slow. but we can dance to it all. It doesn't matter. Footwork is footwork no matter where you do it. Right. And I think you've done an excellent job in showing it. Like when you enter that hip hop contest, my brother. Remember that SDK, my brother? Remember? Told you.
Hey, you kicked that off.
Just show them that you could do it to any tempo, and that'll open up their mind.
Oh yeah. No, I appreciate that. You guys inspired me to let loose and do that, because I was being more social with it in the clubs for the ladies and just for the environment, but I never thought like that was acceptable in like the competition world until like I got the approval from the OGs, let me know like, nah, go out there, do that. You a grown ass man.
And on that note, thank you.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
New York, Chicago,
Collaborative.
USA. Yes.
Indeed.